Hi, my name is Abby Grinsing, and during this presentation, I will be talking more about creativity and what creativity means to me. Throughout this module, I learned that being creative doesn't necessarily mean being artistic. In the textbook, the podcast, and other videos provided, examples of creative thinkers were being portrayed, but these examples go beyond artists and musicians. In the video by Dr. Diasio, he mentioned the creativity of antique motorcycle enthusiasts. He talked about how they are constantly having to evaluate and solve problems with their unique motorcycle. This type of creativity does not always come to mind right away when discussing the definition of creativity. The definition of creativity is the reason why was surprised by the myth of originality. In the podcast by Davis Burkus, he discusses the idea that ideas aren't solely connected to one person. Ideas are generated by perspectives one person has on life and their influences. Relating this to the antique motorcycle enthusiasts, they are a community of people who share an interest. This shared interest fosters creativity by the spread of ideas that give way for new ideas and continuous creative thinking. The reason this myth surprised me is because I often find myself thinking, oh, that person is just a creative thinker and must have been born with the destiny of discovering that certain thing. Truthfully, I have never stopped to think how the ideas people come up with aren't born with the person, but created through their experiences and what they perceive around them. This can be seen in influencers who come up with creative ideas, but are often formed by creativity of others. The best example I can give of this right now is butter boards. This idea of smearing butter on a board came from the concept of charcuterie boards, which is a very popular trend right now. Everyone is making their own version of charcuterie boards, which inspired another influencer to get creative with this concept and make butter boards. This leads me to my next point. Without these creative thinkers, there would only be recycled ideas or twisted versions of the same thing. There would be no competitive advantages or growth within a business. Businesses are constantly looking and trying to accomplish the next best thing in their industry, along with figuring out how to make something better than what it already is. It is because of these creative thinkers that companies are able to get ahead of others. This competitive advantage of creativity can be seen throughout the textbook, but also in real-world examples. Tesla is leaps and bounds ahead of other electric vehicle companies because of the creativity fostered by their company and their company leader. Somehow, Tesla has managed to make a better product than competitors and found a way to make it more appealing to consumers. It is through both convergent and divergent thinking that companies are able to succeed in their industry. As described in the video by John Spencer, convergent thinking takes a bunch of ideas and narrows it into one situation or one solution. This can be helpful in politics because politics must take a bunch of different ideas and come up with a solution that will help the majority of people. A successful politician will listen to the ideas and come up with a solution which is unlike divergent thinking, which is described as expanding outwards and using barriers as design opportunities, which would be more successful in industries like the restaurant industry. In the restaurant industry, roadblocks could reveal a fresh perspective and new ideas. However, as explained in the YouTube video, these approaches often go hand in hand, especially within businesses where ideas are shared by team members, then narrowed down by management and executives. Many times, these approaches are used during the creative change process. When a company of an industry is faced with an issue, there must be a creative change that will help that company move past the issue. Some examples of creative change provided in the textbook include social change and personal change. The best example of a time where creative change was needed is when the pandemic hit. Many businesses were shut down and forced to make creative changes. One example of this company is called Joyride Coffee. Joyride Coffee started off as a typical cafe with multiple locations pre-pandemic. However, once the pandemic hit, they had to pivot their business model. Joyride Coffee decided to become a coffee delivery company that took online orders and would deliver coffee to your door, contact-free. It is because of the creative thinking that businesses and civilizations are able to survive through the curveballs of life. Without creativity, there would be no growth, and without growth, there would be no success. This is how we have prospered and grown so much as a community and civilization of the human race. Thank you so much.